Does it matter how long your domain registration length is? There are a lot of SEOs who believe it does, and many who believe it does not. Does the age of your domain matter? Most SEOs believe it does, and some believe it does not really matter. But you would want to err on the side of caution and register your domain for at least 3 years. It's possible that domain registration length is a signal Google looks at. Google looks at hundreds of signals, and it's very possible that domain registration length is one of them. Most of the highly trusted brands online register their sites for at least 3 to 5 years. Most companies who are serious about their websites register their sites for at least 3 years or more, and many of the highly reputed brands online register their domains for as long as 10 years. For instance, if you see the domain registration information for NewYorkTimes.com using whois.domaintools.com, you will see the site expires in the year 2023. And if you check the whois information for homedepot.com, you can see the site expires in 2022. Now, this does not mean every high authority domain is registered for more than a year. But if you check several high authority sites, you will find that the majority of them are registered for at least 3 years. On the other hand, almost all spammers who build churn and burn sites register their sites for 1 year. Most of the PBN domains are registered for 1 year. These people are worried their domain might get a penalty within a year, and so would not want to risk their money by registering their domains for more than a year. Spammers almost never ever register their domains for 3 years. The methods they use are very risky, and they know they are certain to get a penalty sooner or later. If the domain does not get penalized within a year, they renew it. If it does get penalized, they let it expire. That's how they operate, and Google knows this. It might also matter where your site is hosted. Most of the spam sites are hosted on shared hosting, and a lot of PBN domains are hosted on SEO hosting. This does not mean Google sees all sites on shared hosts as spam sites. It's widely believed that Google looks at the neighborhood of a site. Sites that are hosted on the same server, sites that link to the site, and sites that are linked to from the site. So, it would be good to register your domain for at least 3 years. It doesn't hurt to host your site on a shared host, but once your site starts generating revenues, you might want to move it to a cloud host or a VPS. That would be good for your site speed as well. Using your focus keyword too many times in the copy will not work. It's better to err on the side of caution and under-optimize your content than being slapped by Google with an over-optimization penalty. Exact match domains. Google does not penalize exact match domains just because of the domain name. The Google EMD update that happened in September 2012 targeted EMDs with low quality content. But building links to an exact match domain is like walking a tightrope, and building an authority site around an exact match domain is not easy. The domain name kind of limits how big your site can grow. Using your keyword in multiple H1 tags is another very bad idea. This used to work very well in the past, but is not regarded as a good practice now. Google does not penalize a page just because it has a few H1 tags. But some people have their focus keyword in every H1 tag and have several such H1 tags on the page. This is a big no-no. It's not a very good thing to have several H1 tags on a page, and it's a horrible idea to have several keyword-laden H1 tags on a single page. For a news site that displays several posts on the front page, It might be alright to have 10 or even 20 H1 tags on a single page. All of the posts are on different topics and are unrelated to each other. But on affiliate sites like the ones we are building, all of the pages are on very closely related topics. If you really have to use multiple H1 tags on a page for some reason, you would not want to use CSS to style all of them to look like normal text. Multiple H1 tags by themselves do not invite a penalty, but abusing the H1 element sure does. Reciprocal links. I'll link to you, you link to me does not work anymore. Too many reciprocal links can get a site penalized now. On-site duplicate content. All duplicate content is not bad. Syndicated content does not get penalized. But on-site duplicate content can hurt a site's ability to perform well in the SERPs. Grammatical errors and misspellings. Search engines do not penalize sites with misspellings or grammatical errors. But if a site has too many errors of this kind, they might conclude the site does not deserve to rank well. Targeting misspellings of high traffic keywords used to be a good SEO technique. You could get a good deal of traffic by targeting misspellings and using misspelled words in your title tag and H1 tags. But you would not want to do that now. Duplicate title tags and meta descriptions. This is another kind of on-site duplicate content and can hold a site back in the search engines. Link cloaking, URL shorteners, and iframes. Hiding affiliate links is not something Google likes, but this is not something that Google penalizes. But hiding Amazon affiliate links can mean getting banned from the Amazon affiliate program. Thin content. The Panda algorithm was created to punish sites with thin content that adds too little value. Too much useless content on a site can get the site penalized. Ads above the fold. This is another bad practice and can result in a Google slap. Buying links on public blog networks. Google Penguin goes after sites selling links, and sites buying links are not spared either. Google frequently takes down entire link networks for indulging in shady practices, and sites that have links from such networks get hurt too. You would not want to sell links on your blog either. It may be tempting not to try selling links when your site becomes popular, but you would not want to sell links on your site. Not having an XML sitemap. Not having an XML sitemap might mean not all of your pages get crawled. This can be an issue with bigger sites with a lot of pages. No anchor text diversity. Too many links with exact match and partial match anchors will most certainly hurt the ability of a site to perform well and might result in a penalty as well. Not linking to relevant high authority sites. If you link to several very relevant high authority sites, then Google starts seeing your own site as possibly being important in the niche. Broken links are a sign of a site that's not actively maintained. That can be a bad thing. SEO is a game in which only those with patience can win. Impatience can kill your site. Many people who are new to SEO put up a page and wanted to break into the top 10 the next week. Or they build a link and want to see its effects the next morning. Things do not work that way. It can take several weeks or even a couple of months before you see the effects of a link kick in. And new sites can take from 8 months to a year before they start ranking for several phrases. All of this is assuming your on-page SEO is excellent. If the on-page SEO is bad, the pages might not break into the top 10 or you might need lots of links. In SEO, almost any change you make takes time to bear fruit. And one other thing, you do not want to try too hard. If you over-optimize a site, it will be penalized. If you build too many links too fast, your site may end up getting penalized if you can't maintain the momentum. Many sites end up with a penalty because webmasters, in their eagerness to make their web pages rank higher, build too many links too fast, often with exact or partial match anchors. Google has been evolving very rapidly, and links are now one of several hundred signals it looks at. You would be much better off by targeting low competition buyer keywords and building pages with excellent on-page SEO. These kind of pages can rank with far fewer links. Impatiently trying to force Google to rank your pages is a huge mistake many webmasters do, and sooner or later their sites end up with a penalty. Every page on the site has to be very relevant to the topic, and your internal linking has to be very good. Links, of course, can help you rank faster, but you need to be very careful these days while building links. You do not want to get impatient with a site that's generating several $1,000s a year. That's why, at least when it comes to SEO, patience is perhaps the greatest of all virtues.